Alrighty, guys. Hello and welcome. Ooh, wrong headphones on. Give me just a second and we will get things started here. So, I just want to start off by saying sorry that I'm late, and I'll probably say that again in a minute. And explain. Okay, just checking on stream health. Or not. There's no reason. Everything's outputting properly. Is it gonna work now? OBS is running fine. Okay. It seems like it's running better. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now we're actually live. We're running. Everything's smooth. I hope. Anyway, welcome to Fallout Shelter. So, this is a mobile game that I found is also free to play on Steam. That I have recorded a video in but haven't posted yet. It was actually encoding, and I think that might have been what was delaying it, so I just kind of canceled that and will finish encoding it and posting it later. But I'd like to apologize for being late to the stream, but the reason I'm late is because all of YouTube, or at least all of YouTube Creative, crashed. I could not access my page, I could not access my stream, I couldn't do anything up until just about now, so that's kind of why I had been prepping everything, and then I couldn't get into my stream anymore to prep it, so that's kind of why everything's behind a little bit. But anyway, welcome to Fallout Shelter. There's a couple things, as you can see, I have these little notifications over here that I've had, but I was waiting until I got to the live stream to do. This is just kind of a chill stream. This is more for me because I just want to kind of hang out and, do whatever, so it's not going to be super exciting or full of whatever. But it's here. And, I'm happy to talk to you guys if you have anything that you'd like to say. Please feel free. That's what what I'm here for, is more for like a chill hangout stream than anything else. So, the next thing we have to do is we have to destroy these rocks in order to build here. So, we're going to build the next thing that we got, which is the science lab. So as you can see here, it says you have to have 18 fillers in your vault. Each one of these rooms is from the next, or you unlock rooms the more dwellers you have. Why can't I see the bottom of my screen? The video might get a little funky for a second here. Okay, that looks better. At least for me. I hope it looks okay for you guys. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to our special. And we're going to find the person with the highest intelligence. Which, right now, he's already in the med bay, which is another room that uses intelligence. And she's in the restaurant. And we're definitely going to leave her there because she has the highest agility. So it's most important that she's in the restaurant because that's where we're going to get our food from. So we can take Elizabeth Knight here, pop her in there, and she's good to go. And we have a red roach infestation, but as you guys can see, I've started collecting guns and weapons and armor, so red roaches won't be as difficult to deal with. Again, I'm kind of talking as if you've already seen the other one, which isn't up, so you can't have seen it, but it's just kind of I don't really want to be super redundant with my videos, so I don't necessarily want to talk about, because this is probably most likely going to be more watched back than watched live. But once you guys start coming in, I'll start explaining more things. But right now I don't really have anyone viewing it live, so I'm going to treat it more like a video recording for playback purposes. But yeah, as the name implied, I'm just kind of chilling in my vault. I'm just doing it for fun. There's not really any goals or anything in mind here. I'll be right back, guys. Cool. So you didn't hear anything I said because I just had my microphone muted. But anyway, hello, welcome back. To me, I guess. Yeah, this is just going great, isn't it? I was late to the stream, then I had to leave the stream. But I promise things are going to get better. Again, this is just chillaxing, relaxing, all cool and all. So, cool. Anyway, so now that we've gotten this down and we got all this going for us, we're going to go ahead and open what's been sitting over here in the lunch boxes. I need to turn the volume down. We got a pet carrier! Yay, my favorite thing in the game because I love pets. So this here is Jack. And he adds 60% health to any player, or to whichever dweller we put it on. Pets give your dwellers a boost. A rare pet provides better boost effects. Assign pets to your equipped weapons and outfits. Hint, certain pets make great companions for dwellers exploring the wasteland. Which obviously he would be a good companion for someone exploring the wasteland. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our next dweller based on level, which is Charlotte Rice. We're going to go ahead and give her Jack. And we're going to recall her. So in 33 minutes, she'll come back to the vault. And then at that time... Well, actually, you know what I like to do is I actually like to have someone going out while someone's coming in. Obviously, right now, because we have the incident with the fire, we can't do much else going on. But, hello! Welcome to the stream. Okay, so... Who has my pet? That is you, dear. Okay, so what we'll go ahead and give her the only stim packs and send her out. Okay, and then I'm gonna pick her up and send her out here, and we're gonna give her the highest grade weapon that's available to the vault. So stats, high, sawdust shotgun, and you're gonna go explore. So you're exploring while Amanda is returning, because you are now better set to explore. The only thing is you're now taking my strength outfit with you. So once Amanda gets back, we may recall you and just kind of rotation period in and out people until I can get the best setup for sending out, because I need the strength outfit really to stay here to help with my things. However, right now, all of my income versus outgoing are pretty even. So, are pretty good, especially comparatively to what we were doing earlier. And see, now there's a little pet carrier sitting in here now that we have pet. I don't really need to upgrade that right now. This I can't upgrade till it's fully merged, which we might not be doing any merging recently, because I learned with this one that the more I merge, or every time I merged or upgraded, it reset the timer, and it's kind of important to have stim packs and Radaway. Now again, the higher intelligence, the faster it'll happen, and the more dwellers that are, if I had more dwellers in here, the faster this would happen, but right now it takes about 45 minutes to get 4 stim packs, but we're working on that. Again, this is just a chill game where you kind of have to do a lot of waiting for things to happen, especially like right now, there's no dwellers coming in, so there's nothing to assign. We do have the baby dweller up here who is more than halfway to leveling up, so it takes about 3 hours for them to become an adult, which is the same period that it'll take. So it'll take her 3 hours from when she got pregnant to have the baby. She got pregnant around the same time that the baby was born, so this should be roughly around the same time frame. Who knows? Again, because it doesn't give you an exact measurement of when it happened, just kind of this little bar here, and only on the child, not on the pregnant woman. It kind of gives you an idea, but it doesn't give you an exact idea, so we might not see that happen, but I did record that in my video that will be posted eventually. So how's everyone doing today? Is there anything that you're doing to fight the boredom? Because this is basically what this is. This is me trying not to be super bored of everything. Oh, we can add to that, but again, I'm not going to be dumb. I'm going to wait a few minutes. Ah! Mysterious stranger! Thank you for the muns. So he gave us some caps, which are our coins for Fallout Shelter and any Fallout game. If you've played, or if you've either played or watched any of my other series on Fallout, that caps are very important. I wish something was happening so I could show you some more stuff. I guess I could just kind of talk about the basics of the game for a little bit. So obviously it's a resource management game where you want to make sure that you have your power, your water, your food, and your supplies. So right now we have a lot to go. This is a fairly new game. I've only had a couple hours into it as compared to my original vault that is on my not on my computer, it's on my phone, which in that case I have it built like way down into the ground, not nearly this far down because I didn't add any extra rooms than what I needed, and I also built sideways instead of down. But I think this time I'm only going to strictly go down because the problem with building sideways is that you can't fit another fully, or you can is that I think that's only two sideways. I don't think you can fit another fully formed room on the other side. So instead, I'm going to build down so I can have the 3 rooms. Because that's your fully upgrade rooms, and once you're fully combined your rooms, you can also upgrade them. So you see this down here. I'll show you over here is our objectives that we want to do. Our daily report, we haven't gotten that yet. Ooh, we'll get that in about 5 hours. Sorry, not 5 minutes. And this is our objective pool over here. We want to collect 15 weapons, collect 2,000 power, and equip 6 dwellers with outfits. Again, I've already been working on a bit of that. But we're really close to getting the power, and once we get the power, we will get this here, which is our lunchbox. Once we get a lunchbox, it will have items in it, which can either be caps or dwellers or junk, which we'll need later for crafting, which obviously is not where we are right now because we don't have the crafting rooms. But there's a lot of things, and it's very important to collect as many lunch boxes as you can. They make a huge difference, especially early on in the game. When right now I don't have weapons for everyone, I don't have clothes for everyone. There's a lot of stuff that's missing and lacking that we really need in order to have a successful vault. But obviously that's something that you have to do. Like obviously a successful vault is not going to just appear out of nowhere. We may also try later what is called survival mode, which is the harder version of this game where resources dwindle faster. Like if you lose because like right now, if something were to happen and one of my people were to die, I could revive them, but in that mode you can't. So it's just a little bit more challenging. Again, today I'm more going for just a chill, relaxed stream where I'm talking to you guys, which also hello, welcome back to the stream, or welcome new to the stream. So you might not be doing that. I might do that in video, but for now we're just gonna, chill out, watch some Vault Dwellers, walk around, and hopefully we get some exciting things going on because I'm used to my normal vault on my phone where I literally have the 200, because you max up here, you max out at 200 dwellers. Period. So right now I have 16 out of 34 that my vault can hold at the moment based on how many rooms I have, how big they are, and how many times I've upgraded them. And plus there's just a base number that you have no matter how many rooms you have in here. But no matter what, you can get no more than 200 dwellers in a vault. But I'm used to my vault that has 200 dwellers, has full rooms, and all I'm doing is just clicking on everything. So sitting here staring at these, so this is what we call an incident. This is a fire one. So this one, I believe that their clothing and their armor does make a difference. However, their weapons do not make a difference because not all these people have weapons, but they all have fire extinguishers. This is a rare, well, the incident itself is not rare, but the handling of the incident is slightly different than the normal way that you would handle an incident. Normally you would just use your weapons or your fists if you don't have a weapon to fight whatever it is that comes into the vault. Also, hello and welcome to the stream. We're chilling out here in oh my gosh, why did I forget the name of it for a second? Fallout Shelter, which is a mobile game but apparently is also available on stream. Better Settler? I don't know what that one was. But yeah, so we've been getting achievements and stuff in here, which is new to me as well. Um, so yeah. I'm sorry that this isn't the most exciting thing to watch ever, but again, that's why it's called Chillin' in My Vault and not Exciting in My Vault, because it's just about hanging out and having some fun with you guys. Um, hopefully, and hello and welcome. Hopefully, we can maybe get some convos going, like if you guys have anything that you guys are doing while you're stuck at home. Oh, hello! Yes, Steam. It's available on Steam, not Stream. I'm sorry. Um, I was distracted. um, I'm having lots of tongue tying issues at the moment, but it's also kind of early for me here. I got up not that long ago. I was actually going to start streaming right away, but then we had that issues with the crash. And hello again. So, is there anything? Have you guys ever played anything like Fallout Shelter or anything like that that maybe you, I don't know, have recommendations for? Obviously, like I said, right now there's not much to do but wait until things happen because we're so early on. Eventually, later, you just start clicking on everything, and there's just so much that you can't even keep up with everything that's going on. We can, again, still, we can increase this, but we want to wait that 26 seconds. Perfect. So right after this, we will go ahead and expand this. Ooh, mysterious stranger, I hear you. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Click. Yeah. So what the mysterious stranger does is, if you've ever seen it in the Fallout games that I've played, what the mysterious stranger usually does is he helps you out with your VATS. But because this is not a first person shooter and just a resource management game, he just helps you with your caps, which, as I said earlier, your caps are your monies. They're very important. Yay! Okay, we got one rat away. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is go here. We're going to add another science lab on. And we should be able to afford to build. Perfect. Now that we can build that, see how we merged that and made that one big room out of 3. So what you want to do is you want to get those rooms leveled up so that they're as big as possible. Because then once you do that, then you can... Get out of my way. Then you can upgrade the rooms. This one costs lots of muns to upgrade. Yeah, I mean, they can get kind of tricky, but again, they're more of a time waster than really anything else. And especially once you have yourself, like right now, I'm pretty settled. All my dwellers are making the amount that I need based on how much I have, because you can see by these little skinny bars up here, what. So that is your thresholds. So the higher it is, the more you need. So as long as your input is higher than those bars, you're fine. They will move around as you build particular rooms and expand. So you kind of want to make sure that that's balanced out. But once that's balanced out, again, it just becomes more about waiting and just the time waster. Before then, it gets kind of tricky because you don't know how to balance that yet. But once you have it settled, it's pretty easy for the most part. I mean, that's not to say that I won't mess things up, but I've never... I haven't recently failed a vault. The only time I failed a vault was my very first vault, and it was because I found out about the reproduction, which I pointed out here earlier. So you put a female and a male dweller up in this room. In any of the, you could put them in any of the homes, but this is their particular room. And they, after a while, can possibly procreate and have children. I put a bunch of them in there and got a bunch of them pregnant at the same time because I didn't realize how that worked, which now I know. What happens is you have a child, which you can see here. The child walks around and they consume power, water, and food like any other dweller, but while they're a child, they cannot... A vault for my vault. Oh, I just got my first 10,000 caps. Anyway, so what happens is that they they consume things, but they can't produce things. So like adult dweller can produce. So if you have too many of them at once, you're just going to drain all of your supplies. So that's the only time that I failed and had to completely quit a vault. We're going to claim this so we can get the next one rolling in. So the next one is 2,000 caps in the wasteland, which the wasteland is this up here where I have people exploring. So right now I have, let's see, Charlotte going out to explore the wasteland, and she has gotten 25 caps currently. And I have Amanda returning, and she has got 202 caps. So this is the area they're talking about when they refer to things like the wasteland. You unfortunately do not see them other than that, but the cool thing is you can kind of read it. It can get kind of funny in here, but it basically is just saying, oh, I went out and I found this, or oh, I came across this interaction and this is what happened, and it killed me, or I killed it, that kind of thing, which again, they can die out here, but right now, because I have it on the lower tier version, I can revive them if they die out here, and they'll come home with all their stuff. You don't lose anything if they die except for the caps, which I think is like 1,000 caps. So right now that's going to be a little bit trickier. However, later on, and now we have our next incident. So this is a raider incident. So the higher you have your vault door, the longer it's going to take for your dwellers to get, or for the raiders to be able to get into the vault. Oh my gosh. So your dwellers are actually going to be fighting them. As you can see up here, they're flashing red, which means they're reducing those, so this is your power, your food, and water. They're reducing your resources. Pregnant women do not fight. They always run and hide in the bedroom. If someone were to attack the bedroom, they would run into another room in the meantime. So this is where your weapons, like what she has, come in handy and make a big difference. And that's why you want to have as many as possible. Also, your armor can come into a difference. No, I didn't mean to send you away. At this time, you can move dwellers around to try and help the fight, but I tend to find that that doesn't work very well because by the time that they get anywhere, the fight tends to have moved on already. So I just kind of let it be, except for in cases where the dweller seems like they might be very injured, especially because I don't have a lot of caps. Certain types of incidents will affect the vault differently. With raiders, they affect everything, or at least whichever room that they're in. So they can affect, as you saw, the power, the food, and the water, which now they're going to go down here, and it's going to affect our water levels, possibly. Whereas certain ones can only affect one or the other, but raiders are one of those ones that can affect all of them because they're raiding your vault. Another thing that can happen, if on occasion, is they can actually also raid your caps. But for the most part, as long as you can handle them, it's not too bad. Obviously, the longer they're in there, the more it's going to affect it, because right now, even though she's not taking my water production, she's slowing it down, because as long as she's in that room, they're not producing. So she's still affecting the vault. But once she dies, as you saw with the weapon up there that I picked up, when they die, sometimes you will get items from them. Raiders are unique in the fact that they almost always give something, whether it's an item or just caps, whereas some things like mole rads and other things like that don't always give you everything. Or anything, sorry. You have a weapon. You actually, because you don't fight right now. Okay, good. You don't have a weapon. Since we're low on weapons, we want to make sure that they're sparingly. Eventually, everyone will have one. But right now, we're very low. Perfect. And you want to make sure that, because although raiders can get further down into your vault and other incidents can happen further on in your vault, I usually recommend having the higher up dwellers, making sure that they have weapons first, because most things that are like the dweller or like the raiders will come in through the vault door. So that means they're going to attack the rooms at the top first. So if you can kill them at the top before they get lower down, then you don't really need to worry about it so much. So you want to make sure that everyone up top is always equipped first, and that if available, they have the highest available stuff for them. Okay, so we're going to open our lunchbox. And as I said earlier, this is where you're going to get all of your, or you're going to get some more supplies. So we got some caps. We got a shovel, which is junk, which right now we're not crafting, but it will be important later on, so we're glad to have that. Radaway, that's good because we're low production on that right now. Leather armor, yay! I could always use some more outfits right now because as well as weapons. And perfect. Now this one is ooh, hold on. Where's the mysterious stranger? Quick, quick, quick. There he is. Because he will disappear. Okay, so that one is going to be very helpful for us because it increases perception, which perception is our water supply. So right now we are going to. I don't think he can. Okay, yeah, I don't think it has to be a woman because that was a dress. There are certain outfits that can be worn by either, and some that can only be worn by either women or men. Most of them are either, but this one, particularly the movie fan outfit, can only be worn by women. So we're going to put it on her because she is in the perception room, which is the water room, and that's going to help with our production there. Which the higher, see, endurance doesn't really matter in any of the rooms that I have currently, but it's still good to have. But the higher the perception in the room, the faster that we will be producing our 34 water. So that's why having more dwellers in there helps, but also having higher level dwellers or dwellers with outfits that enhance their abilities. And then we're going to go ahead up here and we're going to give her this because it increases strength. Normally I would give it to a room with endurance because it has a higher endurance buff than a strength buff, but we don't have any endurance rooms, as I pointed out already. So we're going to give it to her because she needs the strength buff. And we're almost to our 6 outfits. Fantastic. Which I did try because there is a cheat that if you, not necessarily cheat, but if you take a weapon and you pass it around between multiple dwellers, if you have a dweller or if you have a equipped weapon, that works great. Like it passes it along and eventually it'll accept it every time. However, I tried to do that with outfits and it didn't let me. I had to equip new outfits every time. So right now, because we don't have a lot of outfits, it's just kind of a slow process of waiting till they get in. Because again, like right now, let's see. We have to wait until we get one more outfit or we collect 15 weapons, which both of those things are going to either come from incidents or lunchboxes or the friends out here, which are exploring the wasteland. And she has an outfit, so she'll be home in about 12 minutes. So when she gets home, we'll be able to put this outfit, which is actually an intelligence boost outfit, which will be helpful. So we can put it on this gentleman down here, and that will make our stim packs happen faster. So see how every action affects another. Let's level you up. I don't know why he's so grumpy. He's been like this, but his health is high. The only thing is that he doesn't have... Sorry, Nuka World playing, which I love Nuka World, as you can tell by my shirt if you can see it. It's actually a Nuka World shirt, but it's not great for me being able to talk over. So anyway, you want to put them in rooms that are higher for what they are good at. So like for him, he would need a luck room, but I don't have any rooms that benefit from luck. Honestly, there's not a lot that do. The only thing that really benefits from luck is the eventuality of crafting. So he's just gonna have to get a little over himself because he's been grumpy all day and I don't know why, because there's no other reason than that. Because he has high health. We haven't had a shortage of any of our equipment or supplies. And, well, sorry, we have a shortage of equipment, but we haven't any shortage of supplies, and there's not a dead body in the room. Which, yes, the bodies will sit there after an incident, and it will upset them, as it should. But there's not one, so there's no reason for him to be grumpy. We could try and rush it. Oh, that's 2,000. Let's see. That's also 2,000. You are already fully upgraded. That's probably why we're good on power, because that really makes a huge difference. No, we don't have enough caps for that yet. Okay, so 1,500 is the next threshold we need to hit before we can upgrade any of our rooms. That should be... There it goes. I was like, it should be ready by now, based on that countdown. Let's see. About 10 minutes. And so down here, as you can see, they have a thing that says reach now. So I could recall her home using one of my Nuka Quantums up here, but Nuka Quantums are not something that you get very often. Nuka Quantums are kind of, I always call them the cash of the game, whatever it is that you have to, that you can earn, but you earn very slowly. And they try and get you to buy with the in-game purchases. That would be your Nuka Quantums, so I usually save those for later on once we have our quests, which our quest is when we will send multiple or singular, depending on the quest, dwellers out into the wasteland as a group to go to a particular building, whereas these are just wandering, and sometimes they can find a building. There'll be a little icon that shows up here that's a little map with an exclamation point in it. If you click on that, it'll take you to a building. That usually has about one room. When you're questing, you'll go into a building that has many rooms that kind of look similar to a vault like this, where so it could have this many rooms, and you go in between each. They'll all be darked out, and as you go into each of the rooms, it opens up and you have to fight whatever's in there, and then whatever's in there will then give you rewards based on what it is, which again, humans like the raiders will always give you items. Things like mole rads may not always give you items. And if you click on the mole rads, or I'm sorry, if the body disappears, then you don't get anything, but if they stay, then you can click on them. But even if they disappear, there's typically items in the room. So, like, for instance, if it was, because the rooms will look different than this, but say, for instance, if it was like this kind of room, this box might have a twinkle on it, and once you've defeated whatever's in the room, you can click on that and get an item out of it, or coins or whatever. Sometimes it'll be things like stim packs and rataways, and other times it won't. So it just really depends, but that's something that we'll get later on once we can get our Overseer's Office, which is actually the next thing we're going to get. So once we have 18 dwellers in our vault, we can get that. I don't know. I think that she counts. Because even though she's a baby, she still counts towards the dweller count. But as I said earlier, she doesn't count again towards anything else. But I think once she has the baby, that will count as the next dweller. So once she has the baby, then we'll be at 17 dwellers. So there are other ways to get dwellers, but right now, the only way is to wait. So we can get dwellers that just will randomly appear up here. Sometimes if the map shows up here, sometimes one of the rewards for the event will be a dweller. And another one is, like I said, waiting for them to have babies. It does take 3 hours for them to give birth, from when they went into the room with the couple, which, again, if we hit that landmark, I'll show you guys, but right now, especially with it being this early on, I don't want to have more than one pregnant dweller at a time, because that can greatly affect your success in the game, which is like what I was explaining earlier. If you saw, was my only ever failed vault was when I had too many pregnant dwellers at once. So here you'll see the white things are the things that they've gathered, whereas it excluding XP, because they're constantly gaining XP, which is why one of the reasons why I send out my higher ones, because I want them to continue to get higher, but also the higher they are, the more health they have, and the more health they regain when leveling up. Leveling up, just again, mostly what it does is it helps with the health regain and the amount of strength that they have in general. But it doesn't really affect any of their special traits or anything, and there's not really any way to speed that process up at the moment. All you can really do is just wait. Now, there are 2 things that can affect a dweller's level up rate. One, if they're in a crafting room, which again, we don't have right now, but once we have them, they tend to level up faster in crafting rooms. And 2, if they're in one of the buffer rooms, or the knowledge rooms, or however they call them, which are the rooms with this little icon on them, like the weight room and the athletic room. These rooms actually increase one of the special stats of your dwellers. However, while they're in there, they don't level up. I think it's kind of just like a balancing of the game that the game has, so that way, even though they're getting stronger in a different way, they're not getting stronger in the leveling up way. So I have had some dwellers, because what I'll do is I'll put a dweller in there until they're fully leveled up and then move them down along the rooms. So I've had some pretty low dwellers that will have super high stats, or vice versa. I'll have really high dwellers that have super low stats because they haven't been able to get their turn in one of the weight rooms or one of the learning rooms, or whichever one it is. There are going to be a room for each one of the special stats. So they have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 special stats, right? Yes, I can count. They have 7 special stats, so there will be 7 rooms, one for each of the stats. Which, again, I kind of go over a little bit in the video that I will be posting later, if you guys want to watch that. We could destroy the rock because we have enough, but at the same time we want to wait and get those 10 more caps so we can upgrade one of our rooms. Upgrading rooms will increase the speed and the number. So, like, see here, if we upgrade, we'll get plus 6 production and plus 75 storage, which means, like, right now, if we were to collect water, because they haven't used it, it would just disappear. So we might actually, I mean, everything's settled though. Like, I don't know if I really need to, let me see. Is there somebody who can help with food? I don't really want to mess anybody up here, but he has a pretty high agility. And he has pretty high agility, but he also has high perception. So we're going to leave him there because it's kind of a little bit more important, since perception is obviously more his forte. So we're going to put him over here to help a little bit with food, since we have more than enough water. So we don't need to really be producing at such a high rate. Obviously, we have enough of our other supplies. We're not really in any dire straits, but we want to keep them the levels as high as possible, so that way when things like incidents happen, it doesn't become detrimental to our vault. 2 more minutes, and then I can show you kind of what happens with that. So as you can see, she is wearing an outfit, which this is... Ooh, mysterious stranger. Found you. Cool. So the outfit that she's wearing currently is a luck buff, and she has a weapon in her hand that I gave to her. Sometimes they will find weapons and outfits, like she did find an outfit, but it's not a better buff for exploring the wilderness. Intelligence can help, but it's not the most important. Luck is actually a little bit more important because it will help you find more items more often and quicker, which are basically the same thing. So it's definitely something that is not necessary. Typically, if they find an outfit or a weapon that is stronger, they will self-equip it, but only while they're out in the wilderness like that. Other than that, you have to really do most of the controlling for them. There's not really much that dwellers do on their own, other than their assigned task. Once you put them in a room, you don't have to worry about that, but they will not assign themselves or anything like that. Once she comes back from the wilderness, what'll happen is she'll go on what's called coffee break, and she will just wander the vault kind of like a child does, where they just wander and don't really do anything until you reassign them to another room. And we're still doing great on water protection. Holy cow. But we also just got some caps, so I think that we just got some caps in place of the water that we just had to get rid of. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to be over on water production, or really any production in that matter. But I think we're going to go ahead and... This should already be leveled all the way up, right? Okay, perfect. And you are going to get upgraded. So you're going to be producing 6 more food per rotation, and they're going to be able to hold 75 more food. Perfect. And see, it does change the look of the room as you upgrade it. No, you stay there, grumpy puss. She is wearing an agility buffer outfit, which is the handyman jumpsuit. So eventually, whenever each outfit is always the same buffer. So eventually, like, I know a lot of the outfits by what they look like. So I'll be able to look at this one and go, I know that's an endurance outfit because I've played it so long. But obviously you can always look and see what it does. This blue section here, that's the buffer. Oh, she's arrived. Okay. So what'll happen is when you click up here, or if you can click on the dollar specifically, but you'll just see it says return to vault, sell common items, or collect. Right now we want to collect because we don't have anything in our, or we don't have enough in our vault. Later on, what these storage rooms for is it increases the storage in your vault. Eventually you'll want to sell common items because you won't really need them anymore because you'll have too much stuff. So we'll collect for now and we'll let her back into the vault. And see, she increased our numbers down here in our collect caps section. So we'll let her back into the vault. And now that she's gotten back in the vault, she will start to wander around, like I said, like a child. Or we can pick her up and put her into whichever room fits best with her abilities, which is either strength or agility. So let's put you in strength for now. Okay, so as we were talking earlier, we have her with her boxer, her weapon, and her item, or her clothes. I was going to recall her immediately because I wanted to keep the strength clothes in my vaults down here with the strength. However, since we're doing really pretty well, I don't think that that's necessary to call her back to get that outfit, because what I was going to do is I was going to call her back and then send someone back out with the dog and the luck outfit and not the strength outfit, because we could actually use that as of right now we don't have a room that needs luck or endurance, so we could send either of those outfits out into the wilderness and it wouldn't affect our production rates. But we don't need to really worry about that right now because we're pretty good on production rates. So I'm going to go ahead and leave her out in the wilderness because all she's gotten is 52 caps. She has not gotten anything, any items or clothing that could be helpful for our vault. So we don't really need to recall her yet. Let's see. This says that she opened her refrigerator door and there were some supplies inside, but she only earned XP. So I don't know. But also she doesn't have any luck buffers on her, which we can... So, yeah. That doesn't help. I want to know that helps, but I want to know her base stats, which we can go to our jobs and we can see the one that is exploring, and clicking on that did that. Sorry. So her base, see, she doesn't have a lot of luck in her base stats, but strength will make it easier for her to win fights and stuff like that. So we could recall her so that maybe we could give her the luck outfit, but I don't think that that's necessary at the moment. Because again, I'm really hoping to get one of the mini events or the mini quests to pop up in the corner, so that way I can show you guys at least something exciting. I don't really need to do that right now because I don't need to expand because there's no dwellers to expand with, and as of it is right now, I don't even have enough dwellers to fill all of my rooms, so there's not really a reason to rush into things. I might as well save my caps so that I can level up my rooms. And Mysterious Stranger. Sometimes he gives you lots of caps, and then other times he gives you hardly anything. And why is my Siri going off? I did not talk to you. And no, it was not from me saying stranger. It was something else I said because it started to say Mysterious Stranger on my Siri. No! Go away! Now that I said her name, that time it called her. But at least that time it made sense because I actually said her name that time. And I said my and then her name. So that's why I thought I said hi and then her name. Welcome back. Oh, she just found 30 caps. And she found a savage dog, and the savage dog died, and she got 200 XP. Okay, guys. Well, let me see over here. So we've been, we'll go for a little, another like 10 minutes or so we can go ahead and at least hit that hour mark with our stream. I might come back later. Like I said, this is kind of just me chilling out and relaxing out. I do have some friends over on Steam, or not Steam, sorry, Twitch. One of them just started live streaming, but his name is Flaming Ice. No, what is it? Flaming. Yeah, Flaming Ice Giant. I was right. Which I do recommend checking out his channel if you are over on Twitch, which is actually probably why I'm gonna end the stream in a few minutes, so I can go over and watch him. So that's why. But I just want to give it a little bit to go to at least an hour. Uh, how's everyone doing out there? Anyone doing anything exciting in the wake of being stuck at home? Because this is my exciting, because I was super excited about being able to stay home for a bit because I had a lot of stuff to work on, but turns out the stuff I had to work on I can't, because I'm actually, as you can tell from my YouTube name, I'm a cosplayer, and I had lots of cosplays to make, but my sewing machine broke, so I haven't really been able to do cosplay, so I've kind of been bored out of my mind. So I've just been trying to find new and exciting games to play, and I came across this one, which is, I don't think I mentioned earlier, but I mentioned the video I'll be posting later. This is one of my, just a game that I played a lot a while ago, like when I first got into the Fallout series, because it was my first access to Fallout. I actually had a friend who got me into it, who let me play on their console, but obviously I didn't have a console at the time, so my only access to get into it was to play the free-to-play version, which is this right here. So I have a lot of time and I guess knowledge built into this game, and a lot of effort put into it. Um, but it's just kind of my way of just chilling out and relaxing. And like I said, I just want to have a chill time with everybody. So we might just, like I said, we might just let it off in a few minutes. But I just was really hoping to be able to do some of the exciting events. But I think it's kind of because we're really low right now. Although up here in the corner we get our vault numbers, and that is based on our dwellers. That's kind of similar to our leveling system. Obviously we can kick out dwellers and drop that and stuff, but the lower level we are, the less likely where things are going to happen. And our dwellers are lower level, so it's less likely that they're going to be finding things out of the ordinary, especially again because she doesn't have a lot of luck on her luck buffer. On her luck stat, sorry. So it's less likely for her to find things like items, caps, or locations, which is what I was hoping to find. But at this point, there's not really much else to do with that other, again, than wait. You can check in here. We just need one more outfit. Need, see, there, other than, yeah, right now, honestly, there's nothing to do but wait until she finds something, and when she finds something I can bring her home, and when she's home then I can put, so I have to wait until she finds an outfit, then I can bring her home the outfit and put that on someone. Once I put that on someone, it will then complete that, and I'll get a chest, and I might actually be able to, or sorry, not a chest, a lunchbox, and I might actually be able to get some more things going with that, as far as more supplies, more characters, all that kind of stuff. The other thing that would be really helpful right about now is if a dweller walked up. That's why I keep checking over here. Also, I didn't notice until I started playing this on my computer, because obviously this is much smaller scale on the phone. And I don't really have much that I need to check up here anymore, especially because at this point on my phone game, I'm not accepting new dwellers from the Wasteland. I'm only accepting people from the procreation system. Um, so this is actually not exactly real time, but a kind of real time representation. So like last night when I started playing, it was the sun was setting on here, and then later in the night when I played, it was completely dark outside, and then now it's bright outside because it is daytime where I am. So it's kind of a cool little touch there, that is kind of a um, live time game, which I mean, obviously it kind of is because everything happens in real time. Like, these timers are not... Sorry, I got distracted for a second. But these timers run in real time. So right here, what you see is the themes. So once the room is... Once this room and this room are fully upgraded and are... So they have 3 wide and they're fully upgraded to their max. You can use what are themes, which will change the look of the rooms. However, you have to either find the themes. I don't think you can find... I think you have to build the themes. So we have to get to the point where we have a theme workshop before we can make the themes. So it's going to be a while before we can get to that point, especially again because we're sitting pretty evenly on 16 players. Or 16 dwellers. One of the things that this game is not necessarily meant to be sat on at all times, at least not in the beginning, because eventually what'll happen is, or it's sometimes you kind of want to leave it for a minute or for a couple hours so that you can get the next dweller and that dweller can level up and then you have something to do. But again, it's not like I'm doing anything else, so, you know. Oh, cool. So, sorry, one of my actual mobile games I'm playing right now, which is Sims Mobile, because I can't afford actual Sims, because otherwise that's what I would be streaming right now, just leveled up. I really want right now is Sims or Animal Crossing. I just want a game to just sink my brain into and not think about things, because I'm so bored, especially without my sewing machine. Like, if I had my sewing machine, I would have all my costumes made. I would have so many plushies and pillows made for my Etsy shop. Like, it's not even funny, but I can't do anything other than sit and play games. And don't get me wrong, I love it, but it has a time and place. And so that's why right now, like I said, I'm just kind of trying to stream so it kind of gets my mind active. And I'm thinking about it and talking to you guys and having fun with you guys, rather than just kind of sitting here and doing absolutely nothing all the time, which is kind of basically what I was doing. And she's really close to being adult, so I just want her to grow up. Sorry. You have got a lot of caps, but you still haven't found anything I mean, I do need caps. But you haven't found enough to help with this one, because you need 2,000. We only have 200, so I need 1,800 before I call you back for caps specifically. That's not to say I won't call you back, especially because you have to watch their health. And if their health starts to get too low, because she doesn't have any stim packs or Radaway to help her with that, I'll call her back, because as they're returning, first of all, they return in half the time. Yay, a weapon! Okay, hold on. So she found a weapon. How many... Hold on, let me level him up. Mr. Grumpy Pants, who's still grumpy. Why are you so grumpy? We need 15 weapons, and we have 4 already, so we should need to find 11 weapons before I'd call her back for weapons. Right now, what I really just need is for her to find clothes, so I can call her back and finish that mission. But anyway, so she's been out for 45 minutes, so she'll come back in half that time. But again, this runs in real time, so she's actually been out there for 46 minutes in real time, and then she'll come back in half that time in real time. Obviously, there are things that happen faster than in real time, but for the most part, it is a real-time game, which is kind of nice. Kind of, but not entirely. Again, if you see this little icon here, this is the rush icon, so we could rush the rooms and get things moving faster, but we don't really need to, because all of our stuff is pretty evened out. We're producing as much as we need to take in, so there's no really reason to rush it. What a rush does is, and I'll show you in a second, the potentials of it. So if you click on rush, you get these additional rewards, as well as you get the regular reward. So you would get 40 food plus 32 XP and 90 or 32 coins and 96 XP if it's successful. If it fails, which is the incident rate, 32%. So there's a 32% chance of failing. If it fails, then you have to deal with an incident, so a fire or mole rats or something else that comes up in the vault. An incident caused by a failure would not be something like the one that we had earlier with the raiders, because that's not something that really, that's just a random occurrence. That's not something that you can affect inside the vaults. It would have to be something that comes up out, like mole rats or rad roaches or fire or something like that, that comes up into or starts inside the vault. Most often it is a fire. However, the other night I was trying to get a fire because I needed that for my quest, and all I was getting was rad roaches, and it was very frustrating. My mouse! Me. Yeah. My super pretty Miss Angela mouse. Yes. Angela, my Miss Mercy, my queen. I just wish I was better at playing her. But also, from what I've heard, she's, no matter how good you are, people are still mean about it. Yeah, I had people calling her all kinds of terrible. So I also, on top of all the other things I've been doing to stop being bored, I've started doing online an online thing that we call roleplay, which is not the same thing as the roleplay that people think it is. So basically what online RP is you pretend to be a character and someone else pretends to be a character, and it's all text-based. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to write a story back and forth between another human who's pretending to be another character from either your universe or a different universe, where you can build a crossover or an AU. What it usually turns into is people saying, "Hi, have fun. How you doing? How's it going? How are you?" Like they're trying to have a normal everyday conversation. And you know what? That might be some people's style, but for me, the reason that I roleplay is because I want to write stories. I love writing. I love using words in that kind of thing. I love pretending to, or I love sinking into the story of a particular character and becoming that personality in that character, kind of, because it's kind of like an online version of cosplay, in my opinion, where I'm playing as a character and doing something that isn't my normal. So I don't want to just have conversations about the weather. I'm sorry. I know that's, again, this is a lot of people's style, and there's nothing against that if that's what you're into. However, it's really frustrating when people try and force that onto me. Another thing that people have been trying to force onto me is a lot of inappropriate content, especially surrounding Angela, or Mercy, as you better probably know her as. People have been trying, and it told me that the reason that they treat her inappropriately is because she doesn't heal enough people in the game, so therefore that makes her an S-word. And that doesn't make any sense to me, why she would be considered that, other than because you people are bigoted and just assume that because we have other people to take care of and weren't able to get to you, that we chose not to get to you, and that I or Mercy or whoever is playing her is somehow a disgusting or a terrible, because you can't figure out how to play a game. So it's my fault, or whoever is the healer's fault, because you can't figure out how to play a first-person shooter battle game where you're going to get injured. But anyway, that's way beyond the point, and it's totally a rant. But again, this is supposed to be chill. not ranty, but at the same time, this is just me doing what I normally do every day. But yeah, I just had to kind of get that out there off my chest, I guess, because I'm tired of being mistreated by other people because of a perception that doesn't even make any sense. She's not a W word, she's not a C word, she's not anything like that just because you can't figure it out. And just because she didn't heal you. If anything, being overly touchy makes someone one of those things. Not, taking care of multiple people who all have very low health. That's what they think, that they're the only people playing, and they're like, why aren't they healing me? It's like, most of these people who complain about healer class have never played healer class once in their whole careers. I can bet you that. Because if they had, then they would stop being such brats. Wow. This whole time I had outfits sitting in my inventory that I completely forgot. More outfits, some more junk, some more caps, some more water, and another pet! 25% of twin chance. So, hello. Okay, so let's see what's in our storage. So we got charisma and agility. So we don't have a charisma room right. Well, she's still pregnant when she's, okay, so what we're gonna do, okay, so first we're gonna come over here and we're gonna see who has highest agility besides her. Is gonna be my friend Ethan. Okay, Ethan. No, what are you doing? Stay there. You're gonna put that on for now. Okay. Cool, and we're gonna give you Chester for now. Because Chester, although I don't think he can affect her current pregnancy, the higher your dweller's charisma is, because that's what happens with this room up here, is it's charisma based. Although it doesn't say that, but if you lift up a dweller and you put it over, see, it gives their charisma stat, which means it's charisma based. The higher their charisma, the quicker the procreation will happen. So obviously she will be pregnant for 3 hours afterwards, but it'll be quicker that the process starts, if that makes sense, because it doesn't just happen as soon as you put in there. The dwellers have to like each other and get intimate enough that they want to do that, because again, that stuff doesn't happen instantly. Sorry, that's kind of a back rant until what I was talking about earlier, which is that people just immediately come into my inbox and start trying to, what we refer to in the roleplay world as smut, or at least in the roleplay world I used to be in, because I'm actually used to do it on Tumblr for years, and then I stopped, and then I started again because I was bored, and it's been really frustrating trying to find people who just want to play the way I want to play. Instead, everyone just wants to F with her because she's cute and whatever, and they all think that she's a W, which she is not, and I will fight till the end of my days, because she's just a doctor who, she literally hates war and violence and wants to just help people. Why do you think that she is an S? Why do you think that means that all she wants to do is bang you? Because she doesn't. Trust me. The only person I semi-ship her with is Genji. And guess what? Genji probably can't do anything because he's a robot. So if she's the one person that, and this has even been kind of semi-proven in some things that have happened in the lore of the game. It's not 100% proven, And like that's fine. Like I prefer things that are left up to the imagination a little bit, but it's the only thing that's kind of been left up to the imagination and kind of been hinted at is her and Genji. So why would you think that that means that she wants to go around and do everybody else? Because she doesn't. So I would love to say rant over, but it's probably not. Except the stream is probably over soon. So in that case, then that would therefore mean rant is over. Why are you getting low? You should be fine. We didn't increase anything, and I didn't decrease your... I didn't take anything away from you guys. Did I? Hold on. So, the little bars at the top give an indication of how high and low you need to be, but at the same time, you can also go into stats and get a much more in-depth version of it. Sorry. So our... Yeah, that's what I thought. We had a higher female than male ratio. Okay, so our average dweller... No, our power production in minutes is 17.44, and our power consumption in minutes is 12.98. So we should be fine. It's probably things like this that are hurting it, to be honest. So one of the things you can do is you can have dwellers that are assigned to here that basically help fight this off. And you can pull dwellers up into that area to help them fight it, but I tend to find, as I think I mentioned earlier, that by the time that they would get up into that area, they would have already moved on. So it's kind of silly to move them up into there, because trust me, I've tried. So her and the puppa are gonna go over there. Okay, so we've been live for about an hour and 15. The first 15 minutes were probably not great. I mean, not the most of this was great, but we're probably going to, after this incident, I'm probably going to go ahead and end the stream here. And also, she can't have the baby while they're in the middle of an incident, even though she's ready. So as soon as the incident's over, I'll be able to have the next dweller. Oops. Which, that's not the worst thing. Sorry, that I was talking about something else. So, see, I accidentally picked him up. Okay, first we're going to clean up the raider. We're going to get the caps there. We're going to clean up this raider. We're going to collect that because we definitely need that right now. Yay, and that also helped with that. Okay, they're going to go down here, and we're going to give you the pistol so that you can shoot her. Fantastic. Or him, sorry. Okay, so in a case of this, if during an incident, if I were to pick her up and drag her into another room, she would go in there during the incident, and as soon as the incident's over, they immediately go back into their room. It doesn't matter if the room is the one with the incident or not. Purely any incident during anything, which can make it frustrating later when you have a large vault and you have an incident happen somewhere else in the vault, and now you suddenly can't fix anything else of where your dwellers go. She's going to have the baby. Perfect. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this room up here, and we're going to find charisma, the two highest charisma, which is going to be her. And now currently he has the highest charisma for a male, but he has the highest natural charisma, so we're going to put him in there instead, because that's actually what's going to help us out. Because what we can do is we can take... Hello? There we go. I don't think she can... I think that's a male-only outfit. Yes. Okay. So he already has naturally higher charisma. So what we'll do is we'll put this one that has the... Let's see. Outfits. stats. Endurance, strength, luck, agility, charisma. Yes, it's the only one that has charisma, so we'll put the highest charisma on him, and it'll help over there with that. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that we are full, because this is the only one that we have been having issues with. So what we'll do is... So see, now she's going to increase the strength level by 1, and someone else will come into this room. Whoever had the lowest strength will come down here into the water production room. And whoever that is, perfect. So what we're going to do is click on them. And we're going to switch their outfits. So she's going to have the higher perception. So now she has a pretty high perception. And that's going to give the outfit up to her, which again doesn't matter that much at this moment because it's endurance based. But now that I have first of all, a full room, and second of all, the highest room possible, based off of at least these 2 rooms of dwellers, what'll happen is we'll get power sooner. It doesn't increase your levels of power, but it increases your speed. So now every 3 minutes we get 62 power, or 66 power, sorry. I can't read. Up, and see, they've already reached the point where they're dancing. So that's a factor of 2 things. One, I'm pretty sure that they've already procreated because she was the one who was just pregnant, and he was the father because they had the highest charisma. So of course I'm going to keep putting them in there, which one means that things happen faster, and 2, their charisma level is much higher, which means it would happen naturally faster anyway. So this is what happens. They go in and they do the F, because that's what they want to do right then, but that doesn't mean that she wants to go around and F everyone else in the vault. Just saying. So now we have 17 dwellers, so we're still 1 shy of our next room. But now that she's pregnant, we can go ahead and put her back in here, because she'll increase the strength in there. And we can go ahead and put him now in... let's put him... He has more agility. We'll just put him in there. It's fine. And then this guy came up here. So now that... Because what happens is they automatically switch places. So she was walking around on the coffee break. He would go on the coffee break, but he automatically goes back into the room that she left. So now we'll pick him up and we'll find what room is best for him, which is clearly perception. Holy cow. Okay, so now he's in the perception room, and everyone's back into a room that they can be useful for, and she is pregnant, so in 3 hours we will have another baby, and in that time we will have another adult dweller. But obviously there's no way of speeding that process up, and I'm not going to sit here and stream for 3 hours on a game that doesn't really need to be watched for that long. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one here after I find the mysterious stranger. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, or even if you just watched for a little bit, please make sure that you go ahead and give this video a like. Comment down below any suggestions that you have or any thoughts that you might have had about the game or about my commentary, anything like that. Please don't forget to subscribe. It means a big deal to my channel. And please, if you subscribe, if you'd like to see more videos, go ahead and give the bell a click so that way you can see when I update or post new videos. And yeah, I will see all you guys in the next game.